Imagine our country's wealth is like these 5 circles. Think of them as little yellow lifeboats, where each boat is 20% of all the wealth in America. And our population is these 5 people, where each person represents 20% of our population. The top 20% is purple, the lowest 20% is blue, and the middle 60% are orange. If our wealth were distributed exactly equally, every person would get exactly 1 seat in 1 lifeboat. But we're not communists. We know that some people work harder, have better ideas, and they should have the opportunity to accumulate more wealth. So when university researchers asked a sample of Americans how they think wealth should be distributed, the level of agreement was really surprising. Men and women, Democrats and Republicans, rich and poor, all think we should look about like this. The top 20% would get just over 1.5 lifeboats to themselves, while the lowest 20% would get just half a lifeboat. The middle class would get roughly 1 lifeboat each. This makes sense. Americans believe that some people should be able to get ahead and earn more for themselves, but we should also have a strong middle class. Unfortunately, our ideal of America is really far from our reality. The America we have looks like this. The top 20% have almost all the lifeboats, leaving just 1/2 of 1 lifeboat for the upper middle class. Everyone else, 60% of Americans, not just the poor, but most of the middle class, are pretty much in the water. It's not just the top 20%. This tiny guy represents 1% of Americans' population, and he owns almost as much wealth as 95% of us together. Okay, maybe you say, those are just percentages, and America is a rich country. Having only a small share of the wealth in America is still enough for a good life. Let's look. The bottom 40% of Americans, that includes a lot of people that we think should be middle class, have a mean net worth of negative $10,000. That means no retirement savings, no college savings, no rainy day savings, just debt. If they lose their job, or their kid gets sick, or their mom gets sick, they're out of luck. Okay, maybe you say, well, they should have been more responsible, saved more money. Their mean household income is $17,000 a year. How much could you save if you were trying to pay rent, utilities, food, transportation for a household on that? So yes, we are a rich country, but we've siphoned off so much of our country's wealth to a very few individuals that we've undercut our ideal of having a strong middle class that can participate in the American dream. This also has economists worried about the future of our country because it's the middle class that drives the economy. And research shows more inequality actually makes everybody less happy. Okay, so other than, undermining the American dream, compromising our economy, making us less happy, what really is the big deal with inequality? It means that we the people have lost our democracy. If over 90% of Americans agree that we should look like this, and we actually look like this, then obviously our government is not working for us. So who is it working for? The Supreme Court's recent rulings hold that money is speech, and corporations and individuals can speak to politicians as loudly as their wallet will allow. Corporations can donate as much money as they want, and individuals can donate up to $3.5 million. So how many Americans have any hope of giving $3.5 million to politicians? Less than 0.00001%. 5 Supreme Court justices have said that money is speech, meaning the 99.9999% of us without that much money have no voice. Well, that's depressing. So what can we do? Can we take our country back? Yes. Here is what you can do. Click here to become a citizen co-sponsor of the American Anti-Corruption Act, which would protect against bribery and secret money. This act is sponsored by Democrats, Republicans, Tea Party leaders, and Occupy leaders. And click here to co-sponsor the Government by the People Act. This would let politicians choose to fund their campaigns through small donations from real people like you and me. Together, we can take back the America we want.